Hi guys, hope you guys are doing really well. It's been a long time. What is happening to the market right now? Today is around 7th of July. And according to our really powerful step two strategy, 2nd of July is where things are supposed to happen a little bit. We've got kind of like one more week left to kind of, and make a lot of great progress and great money in the markets as well. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen right now. Today we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about what's happening to the market right now, you know, what's going on with our market right now. Today a lot of our students just made, apprentices especially just make quite some monies as well. We talk about a lot of these value stocks before, like now one of the like Microsofts as well, make around £16,000 today. Just on a little bit of Meta, we get in. We speak to on our apprentices groups as well to get into Meta. What else? Because the PE ratio of Meta was quite low, we got in just around 550. Write that down. If you can get into Meta at 550, that's quite a good deal. Write that down. 550 just below. Yeah, if you're apprentices, that's easy. We're just gonna do it together during extreme fear situation. We just book our one-to-one, we set it all up all together. And what else have we got? We got now. These are all. If you look at the whole thing, we are changing. We call it a sector rotation situation where we really rotate from the sector of what? Of technology sectors. We are rotating from a lot of these high growth sectors to another sector. So if you remember the circle of life, I call it the circle of life, but it's a really powerful strategy. The circle of life is, when we are at the bottom of the market, okay, really powerful skill set. I wish someone could have told me this when we first started. When we are at the bottom of the market, this is like, a lot of our extreme fear situation. When we are at the bottom of the market, your powerful high growth stocks that is growing at least 40%, 30%, your baby stocks for apprentices, the financial freedom stocks, those stocks is going to go up big time like never seen before. Okay. And once you get to a stage of the economy, a lot of these stocks is going to start turning. It's going to get slowed down. Okay. And who is going to give you the precursor? Who is going to give you the instruction that how do you know when it's going to slow down? When a certain stock release their earnings. Like for example, 2 weeks ago, we got one of the memory stocks release their earning, Micron. If you look at Micron earning guidance, their guidance actually slowed down. They used to double beautifully. They used to double beautifully. And to the certain point, they stop doubling. Okay, to a certain point, they stop doubling. What do you mean double? So that means that profits guidance always double, and to a certain point, they stop doubling. Same thing with Nvidia. We spot Nvidia in 2020, 23. It has never doubled before. Their guidance suddenly from 60, it went to 120 in terms of their revenue. And yeah, things just start to going upward from there. It used to be always the same, and then suddenly things double and things just get really beautiful. Let me just show you how do we draw the graph. So usually it's just like that. Usually stocks doing like that. Micron was like that. SanDisk was like that. Nvidia was like that. This is like 2020, 21, 2022, doing nothing like that, really going nowhere. Suddenly, from let's say 60 billion, they say going to double to 120 billion. This is on their guidance. It's not on the reported number. It has to be on the guidance. And when you double, wow, that means your money is going to double. And things double. This is what happened to Micron. This is what happened to SanDisk, Astrolab, Credo, all of these beautiful stocks that we talk about for our apprentices. And it go up really, really beautifully. And what happened? And yeah, so Micron 2 weeks ago, rather than doubling, it started to slow down. Okay, it no longer double as beautiful as it used to be. Nvidia used to double all the time because when money gets so big, you can't double anymore. This is why you have such a great advantage because people who start with very small amount of money, £50, £100, £250, you know, you are in great advantage because it's easy for your money to double. But when you have big money, like that might be a bit difficult for you to double your money. So yeah, so it's just really, really good trading and investing, starting small and you build it up from there. So coming back here, um, what was I talking about? I was talking about the circle of life. The circle of life is okay, when we were at the bottom, this is like 31st of March. That's what happened really beautifully. This is like 31st of March during Corona time, 2020. This is like 2020, 2022, 2023 as well, 2025, 2026. They're all the same date. It's crazy. Actually, even in 199 and 70, they are all very, very similar date. This is actually the bottom of the market. Almost all every single year, the market bottom. Crazy things happen there. And using our step two powerful $1 million strategy, it happens all the time there. So it's around just March, end of the March time. So that's where I bottom, and that's where you get into like really powerful, beautiful, high growth stocks, and things really going up really beautifully. And once that done, what do you do next? And then things really go up, be really that yeah, you go up some really, really high growth stocks, and then it went up really beautifully. You go to the guidance, you got to go to the guidance. Write that down. If you don't go through the guidance, you will never able to become a successful trader. I'm sorry to tell you that. If you don't go through the company's report, company's earnings, if you don't go through their numbers, you will never become a successful trader and investor. And it's not hard. It's not hard. Okay. We do it together. We show you how to do it, one-to-one. And yeah, so things get really, really easy. But anyway, coming back. Yep, coming back here. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. And coming back here, so yeah, so you got to read the guidance. If you never read the guidance, if you never pull out, just write that down. You must go through the guidance. If you never pull out at least 4 earning quarters of that company, you will never make money. You will have to pull out the 4 earning guidance of that company to see that the guidance actually increased big time, then you will buy. If you talk about any other stocks that you don't do as well, it's actually because you never go to the guidance. Yeah, you got to go to the guidance. There's only one thing you have to do is to go to the guidance. Yeah, if when you want to buy something. So anyway, so you want to make sure the growth is nice, the guidance is improving nicely. So that's what happened really nicely. All right. And this is the high growth stocks going to go up. But some of your stock, I call it a value stock. Okay, I call it undervalued stocks. Okay, so remember, we learned about undervalued stocks that is selling at a very cheap price, at the lowest historical PE ratio. Yeah, stop selling at the very cheap price, lower historical PE ratio. This is things like Meta right now. This is things like Microsoft. These are all selling at very cheap historical PE ratio at the moment. If I show you Microsoft PE ratio, they're at the lowest. Palantir at the lowest. Meta at the lowest. What is it? CRM, Salesforce, IGV, this is software, Adobe, Netflix, all of that are selling at the lowest historical PE ratio right now. If I show you Microsoft, for example, historical PE ratio. Yep. So you can see, you just go to the bottom here. You can see the P/E ratio of Microsoft right now is around 20. You can see here, which is what we have seen right now. It's the lowest in 10 years, 2020, 26, 2020, 26. So it's the lowest in 10 years. So that is quite good. Okay. That means you got a 10 years worth of discount. That means you're buying the stock right now and you bought the stock 10 years ago. You're exactly the same situation. Okay, so let me just repeat. So the first stage of the economy, the first life cycle, after a crash, usually the market is going to go up really beautifully for the high growth stocks. So your undervalued stock will go up as well, but they'll go up a little bit. They go up like 1%, 2%, a little bit, 3%, 4%, a little bit like that. But another stage of the economy, when things are getting very overvalued, when things already gone up big time, when we are reaching almost extreme greed kind of situation, when things are overstretched, overvalued, another situation that's going to happen is going to be where rotation is going to happen a little bit. Yes. So this is, we call it where the market is kind of like stretch. Market is kind of like stretch. Market is kind of stretching a little bit. So a lot of, yeah, when the guidance are not so well anymore. For example, micro wasn't so well yesterday. Actually, today we have another guidance came out called Samsung. So we're gonna go to Samsung later. You will see that numbers are not as beautiful anymore. Okay, Samsung guidance just came out. Samsung is one of the biggest chips company, one of the biggest technology company. which is one of the AI companies as well. So that's kind of what happens. So when things got stretched, the money will start to rotate to another sector that's quite undervalued. So it rotates to what sector? It rotates to sectors like undervalued sectors where things has been neglected big time. So it rotates to that. Can be healthcare sector, undervalued sectors, and a lot of that. And when all of these being rotate finishes, when all of these being stretched, all the sectors being touched, this is when markets start coming down really beautifully. Yeah. People often ask me, River, when can I change my life? You change your life when you have a one-to-one mentor, you know, when you have when you really experience yeah, when you do things really when you really make use of the market extreme fear situation. Yeah, that's where your one or two market situations, your life changed completely. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah, just to repeat back, just to recap back so that you really, really get this. This is probably one of the most important thing you want to get on. So first stage of economy, when we just have really beautiful things happening, high growth stocks going to do well. This is where you want to own when it kind of first roll in. And then the second stage, some undervalued stocks started to do well now. Okay, this happens all the time. I will show you some examples, which is what happened right now, or what happened like last year or 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago. They're always doing that. Okay. And people say why Warren Buffett kind of makes money. Warren Buffett makes money like this. Warren Buffett really makes money by, I see him every year. I just saw him 2 months ago and pay a lot of money to do that. And yeah, so he really makes money by choosing undervalued stock and undervalued stock. So he really get this kind of cycle, and he choose a little bit of a growth stock, a little bit just like that. Okay, so that's what he usually does. For example, in Apple, for example, he bought Apple in 2016, which was 50% of his portfolio. And let me show you Apple for a bit. People show, what's the strategy he used? I'll show you the strategy. The strategies is what we taught you. Apple historical PE ratio. So yeah, if you look at it carefully, one of the lowest PE ratio of Apple, you will see really carefully, which is around 10. Apple get to the PE ratio of 10, which is one of the lowest. So he got in 2016, it used to be like around 15 and stuff like that. So when it comes to 10 again, he got in. He's very happy. He got in, and then that's become his 50% of his portfolio. He bought that. That's all his wealth. He bought one stock. That's it. Life gets easier, and it becomes rich after that. So that's it. You don't have to do it many times. You just have to get in really beautifully. Um, so that's what happened. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. You bought really undervalued stock, high growth stocks, really beautifully. Okay. So that's and the source of that Apple at that time was growing more than 30% as well. So that was also really, really happy as well. On top of that, and then the next part, so yeah, so that's what we're doing. But with the reason why he has to get into Apple, he cannot get into like smaller stocks, like smaller stocks, like smaller stocks, because with big amount of money, you cannot buy any stocks. When you buy stocks, the stock moves so much. But with you, as a retail traders, when you start with very small amount, you can buy any stocks that you want and that grow big times as well. Yeah, but for him, he can only choose 10 stocks in the world. Because when you have so much money, you can't buy any stocks. You can only have 10 selections of stocks. So there's not many stocks left. So that's kind of what happened. But anyway, so coming back here, the next part that I want to talk about is, yeah, so that's what happened. Just to repeat back a little bit. So yeah, high growth stocks going up. And then once that's been done, the next stock that's gonna go up is your undervalued stocks. And when your undervalued stocks gone up as well, the whole thing is gonna come down really nicely. And then we'll hold down going nicely. The whole cycle goes up again. The whole comes down, cycle goes up, whole comes down. But the good news about doing stocks is that you will always make money no matter what happens. Okay. So if you're just being patient enough, if you just, have have the right guidance, have a right hand holding, things just gone up really beautifully like that. So I want to say so proud of so many of you who decided to take your life to a next level. If you get accepted, for the apprenticeship training, because you can see no matter what happened to the economy, stock just gone up really, really beautifully, especially with the right guidance, you're just going to make it even more. Yeah. Patience is a game here, and being disciplined, having a right guidance. So well done on that. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to tell you something really beautiful. So let's get straight into it right now. So we have a lot of things going on. So the main things that's going on today or even last week is two companies release their earnings. You know, the Micron release and earnings really causing the whole technology sectors to come down. And we got Samsung releasing their earnings as well, causing the whole things to kind of come down really beautifully as well. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened when one thing affect many other things together. But we're gonna go to delve in right now so you can kind of see what is going on right now. So at the end of the session, we're gonna talk about what kind of to get in, what to buy, and stuff like that as well. All right. So if you look at it right now, a lot of you are already making money. Okay. You probably should be making money. Okay. So yeah, because market goes, really, really beautifully. So you should be making money. So okay, let's talk about this for a second. Now I usually don't have to talk about this, but I just want to remind you again so that you are clear. If you remember our strategy is we really, really want to get in during extreme fear situation. And if you have gotten in not during extreme fear situation, you just got a bigger stomach to withstand it, okay? To withstand the pain, okay? Because eventually it's going to go back to the place that you want, all right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Because, like, for example, let's say you go in at all-time high, okay? You go in at all-time high in whatever that is, like just before the Iran war, you go in at all-time high. So if this S&P 500 came down 10% at that moment, so that means your individual stocks usually came down around 30%. So, okay, so you have £100, you go around 30%, £70. So if you go in an all-time high, this is like extreme greed. You're like, oh, let me just get in during extreme greed. So you just go to stomach a little bit. Yeah. Because when we comes to extreme fear situation, most people are scared. Most people are panicking. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Is it a scam? I don't know what to do. I'm shaking right now. Most people will feel that way. Okay. Because that's what it's supposed to do. Because this is how the top 10% of the people make money, because they are strong, they don't care about that, and they take massive action during extreme fear situation. But most people can't do that. Most people wouldn't want to buy an extreme fear. They pull out. They'll be like, oh, let me not do it, let me not do it. They pull out. And but when they pull out, they miss out a big situation, big market situation. How you do one thing is how you do everything in life, literally. Yeah, especially in the stock market. So extreme fear happened right at the bottom. And people who pull out, people who simply like throw their tires, they miss out on this beautiful gain. They miss out on this life-changing situation, and their life stays the same forever. They ask me why I always work in my job in 10, 20 years, because things get scared at the time. And it's normal to get scared, especially when you first join. Yeah, this is why having someone to, so same thing here. Yeah, April time, people get really, really scared because you are supposed to be scared at that time. Yeah. But for people who are built in a different way, for people who really understand that uncomfortable is where things gets easier, life gets easier. It's very easy though. It's very easy to buy when things are going up. Like extreme greed, everything is going up. Even your taxi driver is buying. It's very easy to buy. And it's very easy to buy Bitcoin at 120 compared to buying Bitcoin at zero. Let me show you Bitcoin. You know, everyone could have bought Bitcoin, here at the highest 120. It's the easiest thing ever to buy Bitcoin 120 because you just keep going up. It's only natural. Let me just keep buying them. This is very, very easy. There's no resistance neither. You don't have to do anything. You just always going up. Let me just buy it. It's so easy. Everyone can do it. Oh, it's going up. Let me just do it. It's so easy to do it. But when to buy Bitcoin at the bottom, to buy Bitcoin here at the bottom, that takes guts, man. That takes guts, that takes strategy, that takes mentorship, that takes one-to-one mentorship, that takes so much energy. That takes impossible. You got to be the most impossible in the world. And if you do that, wow, which a lot of our students did. They look at extreme fear situation, they went to the very low point, they do the one-to-one, and then yeah, things go up really, really beautifully then. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. So we have a lot of students, who join for quite some time. And yeah, they make use of, a lot of this situation. They buy just right there and then. And they get into some really beautiful stocks, making 100 percentage of their portfolio, like Credo, like Astro Lab, like a lot of this, like there's a strategy that we use. You filter all the way down through all the time. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they all went really beautifully. Literally, they all went out beautifully. People were like, "Oh, how do we find out stocks like that? How do we find out stocks like that? Um, by using a strategy that works. Yeah, by using our screeners as well, by going the guidance, looking through the guidance that kind of like never seen before, never changed before, etc. Yeah, like yeah, it's just show you a little bit, some very very small, you know, um, just loading. Yeah, like for example, you already know. Let me show you. If you go to like Chartmail, apprentices should get this for free as well. You just use our powerful strategy. You just filter it very beautifully like that. Just filter really beautifully. You don't have to do it next year. Just filter really beautifully. Very simple filtration kind of like method, yet so powerful method. Just show you very quickly as well. Done this a lot of times. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, we just choose the right thing. Cool. So you can see, carefully here. This is today's date, okay? So maybe you'll be like, oh, it's easy to do today's date. Let's do, the last extreme fear. Type in the chat box when was the last extreme fear that happened. When was the last time when the VIX was at the high? When was the last time where open insider almost won? Yeah. So very simple. You go to the VIX, you find the VIX which is at the resistance line. The last time we've got at resistance line, which is around here. Yeah, the Iran war, things like that. Okay, so that's where VIX was quite a resistant high there. So round VIX is very low now. So we are brewing for something. 29th of March here, you can see. Yeah, even you add anything around March, you'll be very happy. 29th of March here. Can you see 29th of March? Just at the bottom there, the VIX was above 27. Okay, write it down. Write it down. VIX above 27, you really want to do many, many things. Yeah. For apprentices, you really want to book your one-to-one when VIX is above 27 as well. So we can do things together. So, what I am saying and talking about, yeah, screener. So VIX 27, you'll be like, okay, let's pretend you don't know VIX 27. You go to like February, because like let's say Corona happened in March. It's easy to say that, oh, I buy stocks here, but let's do February. Okay, because we're back testing. Okay, so one of the best way to know how powerful our powerful strategy is to back test. Okay, let me show you how powerful our strategy is. So very simple. All you got to do is to go back in time and choose a date like way before that. So let February. Okay, February the market hasn't crashed yet. So let's go in February. So let me show you. US 500. You know, um, yeah, February. Yeah, the market was at all-time high. You'll be like, oh, it's easy to buy the stock now. Let's buy all-time high. So that's what we did. So we go all the way back to like February. Where's February? Yeah, February. Can you see February? Like February 2026, any date, February. Just click on it. So they give you around a couple of trades here. So this is out of many, many companies. There's just a few companies there. Okay. So if you use our strategy, you buy things, in February time. You have going into Nvidia, which is from here at 170. It went up really beautifully there. And you would have gone to Micron, which is here around 200, 300 there. Extreme field was just here. You went to around 1001.2. Big time like that. Yeah. And yeah, and things go on and on around here, and it went up like that. Palantir is still climbing. Palantir is a software stocks replacing by AI. Amphenol, from here at the bottom here. It went up really beautifully like that. These are all the back tested date. This is February time. This is not the time right now. Yeah, but obviously we are in July now, August right now. It went up really beautifully there. Marvel in February time was around 50 there, and it went up really beautifully there, 300 right there. February time was around what, 200, 300. It went up to 1,000 there. Yeah, really beautifully. And yeah, the list goes on and on. Cradles as well. From the bottom here, 100, you went to 300 there. You were never able in your entire life where someone would teach you strategies where you 100%, 200%, 500% with some leverage, you make so much your money in such a small period of time. So what does that mean? That means that if you, let's say you start with very small amount, let's say you start with £100, okay, let's just start with £100, £200, whatever that is. And initially, you probably use some leverage. Just for the first time or the second time, you use have 5x leverage on eToro, you can use 5x leverage. Three times your money just to make it very easy. This is in like March time. Today is in July. In 4 months time, 3 months time, usually 3 months time. You wait for 3 months like that. £100, 5x times 3. How much is that? 500 times 3. 1.5K like that. Yeah. Some people have 10,000. Some people have 100,000. Some people have different amounts. And then you do it again. Another extreme fears kind of happen again. If it's just 1.5K, you do again. You do 5x again. And some other platforms allow you to do 20x. Yeah. If you use like option trading, allow you to do 100x. But I'm just going to choose the lowest one, just 5x. £100, you can lose your £100. But you're not going to lose your money on stocks usually. 5x, and then you times 3 again. Why 3? Because like every 3 months, every 4 or 5 months, so let's make it 4 months as well. 5x is the leverage. So 15 times 3, 5x, how much is that? 15 times 3, 15 times probably 20K, just like that. Yeah. So half a year you make 20K. This is tax free, by the way. And then you do it one more time. This time you don't really have to use leverage anymore. You don't have to use leverage anymore. So you just do a normal 3K. So 3 times 3, 60K, just like that. That's it. Mission complete. In 1 year, you make 60K. That's way more than a full-time job. If you can make 60K in a year, starting with £100, 60K in a year, starting with £100, will that make your life slightly easy? That's it. 60K is most people's annual salary. That's it. That's all you need. And then you do the next year, you do it again, you times 3, again 180K. That's it. And you don't have to do anything anymore. And the next time you times 3 again, life just get easier and easier. This is what we call as a power of compound interest. Yeah. Real money, real trades. Lots of our students doing that as well. Like they go into beautiful stocks like that. This is just one of the newest students who just joined. You can see she got into Asterolab, 300% just like that, times 3. Asterolab. You go into like crazy things like Micron, 100% just like that. And so many things like Cradle, a lot of things that we talk about just right then. Yeah, Cradle were just right here. And yeah, and the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. So that's the power, of it. And we just repeat this process again and again. And oh, yeah, so I want to say well done to you, because you guys finally learn how to actually build your wealth, compound in a really, really beautiful way like the world has never seen before. But it takes energy, and it takes discipline, and it takes a lot of one-to-one. Yeah. So that's kind of, yeah. And is it worth it? Is it worth you learning a skill set where life gets easier? Well, definitely. Yeah. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be very easy. But if you pay in the effort, initially you might miss a little bit of extreme fear. You miss one or two extreme fear situation, but the more you see it, the more you're going to feel it. Okay. Like you already know, every time in March, things happen. Let me show you. Every single time, Corona time, whatever, March happens as well. But another one is coming as well. Very soon. Like for example, you can see, the Iran war is in March. Extreme fear happened just in, where is Iran war? Yeah, Iran war is here. Yeah, this is 29th of March. Okay. And then there's another one here. This is last year, happened just in March as well. Okay. Every single year, something is happening in March. Almost no exception. Yeah, almost no exception. Almost every single year, something is happening in March. So when you feel it, you'll be like, wow, I see it, I feel it. Corona time, crazy times. Crazy times. We didn't know Iran war is going to happen, by the way. We didn't know Corona is going to happen anyway. Happened in March. This is Corona 2000. You guys remember the Corona where things got shut down and things beautiful like that? Things got shut down just like that. Yeah. So that's what happened like that. So that's what happened when you start with very, very small amount of money. But when you start with big amount of money, we can use some other strategies as well. Yeah. And when you're not using leverage, that means you're 100% making money. Because if you're not using leverage, things are a lot easier. And yeah, and you're not gonna have any challenges as well. Cool. So list goes on and on and goes on and on. So what about right now? You can see our market is all-time high right now. Today, market dropped 0.67%. Your high growth stocks dropped 5 to 10%. Insane. Your high growth stock dropped 5 to 10%. So that's kind of what happened. While other stocks, let me see. While other stocks, your defensive stocks just been doing quite beautiful. Let's see. My watch list. So yeah, you can see what happened. So S&P 500 was dropping 0.64%. Tesla was dropping 4%. Nvidia was a little bit up because Nvidia PE ratio is actually quite low already. So I think below 25. Occidental, I think Iran today they bomb some boats again, Meta, because it was quite low, and Meta is unfair because there's some news going on with Meta. Okay. And Microsoft, the PE of Microsoft was quite low. Okay. It's just diverting into other sectors. Japan, Micron, Broadcom, Seagate, these are all down a little bit. Oil is up because they were fighting today. Lockheed, automobiles, service now. This is the service now is one of apprentices value stocks. Is one of the software stocks. What else have we got? We've got yeah, all of that crap. I mean all of that beautiful stuff. We see the one that's green is most of the software one. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened then. So, but yep. So if you already own stocks, a lot of students own stocks, you make money already, which is very beautiful. Let's talk about what's gonna happen next. Okay. I just want to say something, yeah. When you are buying a certain stock, if you want to know when to sell, you must go to our step two strategy where we check the seasonality. Okay, you go to my website, you type the name of the company there, um, and you kind of see what's gonna happen. Yeah, like Porsche, for example, the one we talk about big time. Okay, we make a lot of money on Porsche. When June, we talk about June, Porsche always gonna come down. It did came down really beautifully. You can see we just stepped into July now. Porsche July usually they start to go up a little bit. Okay, and then after August, September, October start to go down really beautifully. Okay, yeah, it happens really beautiful as well. If you look at coffee, coffee went up crazy recently. You can see coffee. Every single year is the same. Coffee, I don't know what it's just a pattern. It's just like winter always in December. We don't know why winter is in December. You ask me this question, why winter is in December? You know, summer is in June. Like look, February and April, it came down really beautifully. But when you do so many times, you kind of can realize that July suddenly coffee started to go up really crazy. Coffee always going down. Crazy coffee went up 20%. I was wanting to short it, but I was looking at the season. I just got no. Yeah, so it was going down really beautifully, and then it just went up like that, 20% just like that. It pulled back a little bit there. Okay. Coffee used to be at all time there. We used to short coffee really beautifully in there. I will probably get in when it's at all time high again. Otherwise, we don't really get in there. Yeah. So let's go at gold. A lot of people talk about gold all the time. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Where's gold? Let me see where is gold. Okay, let's have a look on gold, guys. So here's gold. So according to this, it says that May, June, July gold is going to be tricky, and then July, August, September gold is going to be very happy. So having 10% of your money in gold is not a worse situation. Let's have a look. Gold. So it started to came down in February. And you see the top started to came down actually in March. Gold come down in March. Who could have told you that? You can see gold in the past 20 years. 20 years. Yep, just in May, June, July, just like that. May, June, till then. Okay. Like that. Not perfect. March, June, July, like that. Okay. That's why it says that. And if you look back here, where's gold? Yep, just like that. So is it time to buy gold? If you don't have any gold in your portfolio and if you really want to get into gold, it's not the worst situation in the world to get into gold at the price of, I don't think gold is going to go up to all-time high like that again. I would say it's not the best, it's not the worst situation. Let's do a volume spike first. So where's the volume here? Yeah. 10% of your position in gold is not a worst situation in the world. We can put up EMA line. Can we see? Let me have a look. Let's go to weekly chart. Yeah, go to weekly chart and put an EMA line. Or draw a trend line. Yeah, if you still remember how to draw a trend line. So this obviously is the first trend line. There's another trend line here. Let's put an EMA line. So I'm going to remove all the drawing first. And then you go on what? EMA. Where's EMA? Exponential. Where is it? Yep, that one. Cool. So you're just gonna make it a little nicer. Just make it best fit a little bit. Okay. So we're just around here, touching here, touching here. So we're just around 3.7. Okay, getting a little bit around 3.7. And then another one at the bottom here, 3.3 is not a worst situation. Is that possible for gold to come all the way down? Let me have a look. From here to here. From here to that. A little bit of position is not the end of the world. Just put down 5%. Let's see. So we got a lot of people selling it here. But the volume was spiking it here. Volume was spiking it there. What really determined the gold prices is where um is where your dollar starts to get stronger. If your dollar gets stronger, your gold is usually gonna come down. Yeah. So the reason why you can see gold has been going up since it's gone sideways for a very long time, 2023. Actually, because dollar has been coming down since 2023, US dollar basket. And because we've been cutting rates, let me just show you here. If you go to gold, and if you look at the cap, okay, US dollar basket. Oops, what happened? Anyway, coming back. So US dollar basket. And if you look here, since 2020, yeah, 2023, 2022, you can see our dollar has been going down really beautifully, just like that. Okay, dollar has been coming down. But when what? When when dollar goes up again, if you think the dollar is gonna go up again, the gold is gonna not doing so well. They usually gold and dollar usually have a like an inverse kind of like inverse proportional relationships. Yeah, that means when one is going up, the other one is gonna come down usually. Okay. usually. And when your gold goes up, that means your basic material stock is gonna go up big time. Yeah, gold was going up big time when when the Russia was attacking Ukraine. When Russia attacked Ukraine, the what the US did, US was start to sanction a lot of Russia things. Okay, they make Russia can't use a lot of US dollar. So a lot of the world was scared. Wow, the US can just stop you using US dollar suddenly. And people start to not wanting to use US dollar anymore. They start to buy gold. A lot of countries, China, a lot of countries, you look at China ownership of gold, they get higher and higher. And everyone's trying to buy gold because if you hold all your money in dollar and USA are not happy with you, they stop your dollar. They stop your rotation of dollar. They can sanction you. And, and yeah, so they get into like so since the since what? Since the Ukraine war, which is just right at the top here. Ukraine war happened in 2022, I think. Yeah, 2022. So people started to dump their dollars, dumping a little bit there. But your question is the dollar gonna go up? Is the dollar gonna come down? Well, you don't really need to know that. All you need to know is which is the top, which is the bottom. So that's going to happen, but it has to do with interest rates as well. At that time, we were reducing interest rate big time. So, but right now, if we are increasing interest rate, we are thinking that maybe this year we have one increase of interest rate according to poly markets. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened just right then. Yeah. So to come back, if you really want to get into gold, that will just be at the price. You can use a trading 212 ISA account. Yeah, you can do it like that without using any leverage and stuff like that. So a lot of our students own gold already. They sold it just right at the top there, because they look at the March usually get a bit tricky. March, April time get tricky using what we saw here. March, April, May, they get tricky. So they saw a lot there. And to buy it back, you can buy bits by bits back. Okay, you don't have to do everything. So the first bits would just below. Let's look our trend, our EMA line bounce here, combine combining with. Let's have a look. Now, let me tell you something, by the way. If the stocks goes down, the gold is gonna go down, by the way. Okay? If the stocks goes down, the gold is gonna go down. So this is it. Like, during extreme fear situation, do you want to buy gold or do you want to buy stocks? You obviously want to get stocks because you make even more money in stocks than gold. Okay? Gold, they don't move big time. They don't move 10% in a day. Stocks move 10% in a day. Yeah? Gold doesn't. So, but for people who are itchy, who really, really want to buy gold, um, you can do that when it's really coming down really beautifully down. I would say just below 3.5. Okay, adding a little bit just below 3.5. 5% of your portfolio just to have a balanced portfolio is not the end of the world. Okay, um, what is his name? Ray Dalio, for example, he loves gold so much. Yeah, Warren Buffett hates gold. Yeah, and Warren Buffett says gold is that is if you buy gold in your house, all you can do is just to see only. Okay, you can see only. But if you buy knowledge, skill set, you can make money from a skill set. If you buy a farm, if you buy a company, you buy Apple, you buy Tesla, you buy all of that, you get dividend. Companies are making money. But if you buy gold, you're just seeing on it. So gold and Bitcoin is by supply and demand. So, that's kind of what happened then. Cool. So let me have a look. Mm, People are asking about SpaceX. Is a correction. Okay, I'm going to go to some of your questions. Before I go to market screener, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat box just right here. Anyway, what I want to do, I want to go back into our step-by-step strategy. All right. Go through our step-by-step strategy so you know exactly when to buy and when to sell, etc. So let's go through that step by step first. People ask me about SpaceX. I told you we make a lot of money on SpaceX, and the way we do SpaceX is SpaceX has to crash 50%. Okay. So we told you big time. I sent on the WhatsApp group. You should be on the WhatsApp group for apprentices. So yeah, we thought that when it launches, it went up big time. Okay, we say I'm gonna buy something. I try to buy a lot. Some platform doesn't allow me to buy because they only cap a little bit. So I make quite some money, 33% just sell there because I know it's always come down. But unfortunately, guys, this guy is gonna go to the bottom, guys. SpaceX is gonna go to the rock. Okay, it's going to the bottom. Why? I show you how to do IPO before. Only I will show you how to do IPO. Most people wouldn't because I study IPO in detail. I pay a lot of money, more than 200,000 pounds from and seeing one company after another. I used to do coin, ICO, they call it. IPO, coin, ICO, all of that, initial coin offering. Use do all of that. Spend 200,000 pounds to learn just IPO strategy. I'm gonna compile to you right now in 10 seconds. This is the IPO. So whenever the IPO launch, they were always gone up. It will always gone up initially. And then when it gone initially, when you see some capitulation, when you see some reversal pattern going on, when you see some volume spike, that's it. It's finished. So it came down. It will usually come down 50% of the IPO launch price. Tesla launched at 150, I think. Okay. 50% of it, unfortunately, guys, Tesla will go to 75. Wow, everybody talk about Tesla gonna go to 75. Yeah, 75. And then when we're at 75, then you can buy. If you buy now, prepare to lose half of your money. Wow. I wish someone could have told me this when I first started. Okay. We already make a lot of money though. 150, we own it. It went up really beautifully. Okay. So right now, if you can sell at the profit in July, there's one more bounce, guys. There's one more bounce. I'm going to show you that bounce. You're going to have one more green, beautiful day. Okay. July historically usually is quite beautiful. It can be beautiful. So you're going to have one more bounce in the stock market. That bounce is a bounce for you to sell your profits. Okay. Before we have a crazy things happening beautifully. Okay. So that bounce is a nice bounce for you to sell your profits. Yeah. That bounce is a bounce for you to sell your profit. Anyway, let's come back. Do, 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 do. That bounce is a bounce for you to sell your profit. Yep. So what am I saying? Yep, coming up there and then coming back down. Yeah. So I hope that's very clear for Tesla. Okay. I hope that's super clear for Tesla. Or even why? How can you say that? Well, you go to any other store, it's always like that. You go to Airbnb, it's the same. You go to anything, it's always the same. That when we first launched, you went up big time and then it came back down to half of its value. It used to be 145, it came all the way down to around 80, almost half of its money. Then you buy at the bottom, you call it, and you scream really beautifully. Yeah, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. Those who got the skill set have it. Those who don't have a skill set, see what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen. Yeah, we normally tell this to apprentices, IPO. Very, very powerful, very, very profitable strategy if you know the pattern. Yeah. Why? Because look, a lot of people go in before the IPO, and then when they have the IPO, they get to sell. And a lot of retail traders were chasing at the top. And then when it's at the top, no one wants to buy anymore. You came down. You came down. And people and insiders get to sell their stocks. Okay. Insiders sell, 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 sell. It comes to the bottom. And no one wants to sell it anymore. And time to buy. And people are getting very fearful. People think it's rubbish. People think it's a scam. They are very scared. They're always procrastinating. I don't know whether I should buy. I don't know what I should buy. And they miss out the whole situation. They miss out the whole market making, money making situation. Yeah. Remember, if you want to make money in this world, if you want to be successful in this world, we have something called market psychology. Okay, we have something called market psychology. If you want to be really, really doing well in your life, you got to go to market psychology. Yeah. Look, when you're about to get pregnant, you're about to have a baby, you're super, super scared, you are angry. Why? It's really painful. It's really painful. Having baby is really painful. But suddenly, pop, it comes out really happy. You're very happy. One of the happiest joy you have. Oh, move to another country. Oh, get a new job. Oh, learn a new skill. Really painful. But pop, if you've gone through this, if you go through this, if you when you're fearful, you've gone through this, you'll be super, super happy. Yeah. So that is kind of what happened in life. Yeah. Anyway, so not just that, just anything in life, just anything in life is always, if you've gone through, you know, one of a very, very famous saying is that if you're in hell, keep going. And I'll keep going because there's other way to go, which is another way to just happen. Yeah. So it's really, really proud of you guys. Now, let's come back here. What was I talking about that? Okay, let's come back. I was talking about what's going on here. So let's go through the strategy step by step now. So you got a clue what's going on, and so you mentally prepare what's gonna happen. Okay. I kind of tell you guys what's going to happen already, but just going to show you one more time. So we're in fear situation. This is more like it. I'm very happy we're in fear situation because sometimes suddenly we're in extreme fear situation, like just crazy. But anyway, so we are in fear situation. So we are very, very close now. Okay. We are very, very close now. Okay. To make generation wealth. Okay. To make generation wealth. We are very, very close now. You got to be a bit disciplined a little bit. All right. Got to be a bit disciplined. Got to have a mentor book for your one-to-one for apprentices so you don't miss out. If you miss this out, wow. I don't know wait how long you're gonna wait for the next time. Okay, don't miss this out. Okay, so the next one is our this one was got let's have a look. Charts. Let's see. Yep. So we are just around there. Open insiders. Yep. No one is buying stocks at the moment. If you are really, really itchy, guys, if you are super itchy, okay, go to this and look at what other people are doing. CEO of the company, and all of that. See what are they doing. Yeah. See what are they doing. Um, many people want to get into crypto. It's crazy. So many people want to get into crypto when crypto is the highest. It's 27 now. You already know. So many people ask me to get into crypto. Crypto is 27 now. So that's it. That says everything. You only want to get in when it's below 10. I said it so many times, people still don't get in below 10. And good news for apprentices, we're going to do it together. This is at the top here. What else? Current valuation is almost going back to fairly value right now. 3rd of July, fairly value. Ooh, yeah, fairly value, guys. So it's not cheap. Okay, let's look at this. Bearish, June 10 is at 47. We are now at 42. That's okay. We want it to be more bearish, which is at least 47. Add a little bit here. 51 will be the dream. April 1st, get to 51. Tell me right now, on this chart, which date would you buy stock? Tell me right now. Give me the date, guys. Type in the chat box. Give me the date where you will buy stocks on this stock, like during on this chart right now. Give me the date right now. Type in the chat box, please. There's no wrong or right answer, guys. There's no right or wrong answer. Cholo. Let me get some of the question. Carlo is asking correction, draw me AI specific. Are they going to rebound? Yeah, Carlo, they're going to rebound. If some of the guidance do well. Maybe you say the voice is very low. I'm saying extreme fear we should be using leverage. No, not really. March is my birthday, so I mean, congratulations. Then would you kindly talk about SpaceX? Mine is now Raven, no digital trading a week for you never mentioned MT4, MT5 platform. Anita, you're right. You never use MT4, MT5 platform. You're doing really well. Awesome. So let's have a look. A lot of people give me other date like Jean, Lottie, Mel, Anne, Matt, Joe, March. Awesome. You guys are absolutely right. Okay. You guys are absolutely right. If you say the date, you are doing really, really well. You want to say the date because when you say the date, you remember it and you will act on it because the way to become successful people is by actively by participating. Yeah. So those who say whatever day that is, you are all right. Okay, you got it right. So let me see. So I'm going to say well done to a lot of these beautiful people. Like 18th of March, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And some people say 1st of April, you are also absolutely right. Some people say June 10th, you are also absolutely right. Okay, this different stage, you get into different success, different stocks. All right. So for example, during this stage, you will get into the stocks that is, you know, the high growth stocks that we talk about, and you make a lot of money like that. Yeah. So let's have a look. 18th of March and 1st of April. So let's see. 18th of March, 1st of April. What is it? Any stocks, okay, that we talk about there, like we have Cradle, for example. This is a glitch going on there. So you can see, 18th of March was just here. Cradle was around 10. And then if you talk about 1st of April, was also correct. Yeah. So you support in here, you went up big time like that. Okay. This is just a glitch. Yeah. It's not like that. It's just like that. Yeah, so went up really beautifully. So most of the stocks, if you got in, so if you go on the 18, it went down another 20%. It went down another 20%, and then it went up really beautifully. You know, there's a beauty of it. And you get in just like that. Yeah. Some already bottom a lot quicker. Micron, for example. Micron probably also end of the month as well. Let me see. Yeah, so it was just where is it? 18 was here, and then another one is 1st of March. Yep. So this is why we have the checklist, remember? So yeah, you go in here, well done, congratulations, that's absolutely fine. And you are here as well, you went up really, really beautifully. Yeah. You can wait for a support line there, and then you went up really beautifully like that. Um, Another one, anything really, even Tesla. 18th of March was just here, 3-8. You 31st, first of whatever that is, which is that. So well done. It went up really beautifully to almost 4-6, 4, yeah, 4-6. And you make money like that. Alphabet, what else? All of that thing. Sundays, Astrolab. Western Digital AMD, guys. Same thing here. So you go here. Let me show you. So you go on 18th of March, which is there. And then you do another one here, 31st there. So yeah, it's the same, very similar price. You go in here, 30, you went to 25, 30, 25, how much? 20%. Yeah, touches this line and it went out to the moon. So you have to stomach a little bit. Okay, went out to the moon. AMD, lots of Australians going to AMD as well. It's one of our beautiful stocks. This, mm, let's see. Yep, same thing here. Just in March, beautifully there. 18 was just here. And then it just went up like a beautiful sky. And then it went from how much? 20 to almost 36, almost double like that. Yeah, 20 to 36. So this is what we call it as a powerful strategy where if you find stocks that is when the market crash, when that stock doesn't crash, but it's on the same sectors, that means that stock is one of the best stocks in the whole world. Okay. And those stocks, you kind of want to own it because during a market crash, like for example, if I'm going to draw it here, during a market crash, and when the market is crashing here big time, if you found that your stock is actually not crashing, it's actually going sideways like that, not crashing properly, or even going up, S&P 500 crash, S&P going down. But if your stock is like going sideways or even going up, wow, life gets easier. Those kind of stocks you want to own big time, like AMD, for example. You know, S&P was crashing it. This is just going sideways like that, and it went up really beautifully, almost doubles as well. We call the leading stock. And um, s- let me look at the list. Yep, Sundays was almost like that as well. Do. Yeah. The whole market was crashing. Sundays was like, what's going on? On the 18th was here, 70. It dropped to the support line, literally 30th of March. It dropped like, it looks small, but it was actually really big at the time, 70 to 50. Wow, 20% like that. And yeah, drop to the support line and it goes to the moon. So right now, potentially, we have one support here, adding a little bit support. But yeah, extreme fear happened. This will probably crash a little bit more. Yeah, under 100K will be very happy. Yeah, cool. And the list goes on and on and on. Let me just do another magic. Hmm. Dell's as well. Yeah, Dell was also in here. Western, Snowflake, Astera Lab, Silicon Motion, Techno. If you look at here as well, it's our screener. Went down a little bit and it went up like that. So even the best stocks, sometimes they do came down. Australia was coming down almost 30% before it got up nicely. Snowflakes as well went down from 120 to 80, almost three times. Dell was from almost 100 to 4. Volume spike just there. Let me show you Dell. Mm-mm-mm. So Dell was like doing nothing, guys. Doing nothing for a very long time. Literally going sideways for 10 years, 5 years, not going nowhere. The computer, no one wants it. And suddenly they delve into chips, delve into AI and stuff like that. The guidance told you. Okay, tell me when is the best time to buy Dell. Okay, I'm going to show you the guidance of Dell right now. Okay, this is like, wow. If you master this, your life change. Give me the past 8 most recent earning guidance of Dell, including their margin. I want to do a manual ways as well for you. Okay, good Dell type Dell investor. The manual. You need to learn how to do the manual way. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on money making. Okay, I'm gonna open all of that. I want you to tell me when to buy Dell. All right, because that's what you're gonna do. This is the whole situation. This is how you analyze stocks. People are like, "Oh, how do I study stock?" This is how you do it. So May 28, you go all the way to the bottom and you just look at yeah, you just look at this 165. Okay, revenue full year 165. That's it. And now we go to February. Full year what? 138. Just as 165, 138. So 30 billion more. All right. Let's do another one. Full year 111. 30 billion more. 138, 111. Let's do another one. Full year 105. This is like August 28 last year. 105. So it's like only 10 billion more, almost 5 billion more. All right. Can you see the numbers? And then this is like what, May 29? And guidance was one, it's the same, guys. Guidance is the same. Let's do another one. February. 100 is always the same. 100. And another one. What is this? November. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, let's see if AI is going to give us the same thing. Sometimes you want to double check a little bit, all right? So that's it. Read it and tell me which date would you buy Dell. Type in the chat box for me, please. Let's start, yeah? I'm going to start first. August 29, the full year was 95 billion, all right? They didn't really give the full year. Okay, always give me the full year. Always give me the full year, please. Let's do it again. Just gonna make sure they give me the full year so you can compare um things beautifully. What is this? Give me now. But you already know, okay? It shows very clearly here already. So just tell me when. So I just joined in the beginning of the lesson. I just told you. So first is 100. Is 100. Let me see, it's coming. And 100, 111, and 138. That's like February 26. So let me be really clear with you so you can really see a beautiful pattern. Yeah, treat it like your salary. Do 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 do. Let me see. Let me see if this come back. Cool. Yeah, choose the date here. It's very hopefully it's clear here. Hopefully. Let's have a look. So August 24, this is 95. Okay. Oh, there's so many numbers. You just choose the numbers that you got it. Okay. Let me see. Let's just get the revenue. And then August 20 Q4 26, the revenue is 101. And then 26,101, 26,105, 26,111, 27,138, 27,165. That's it. So just using revenue, when would you have bought it? Then the chat box, please. So look, wow, powerful. So well done to Al, well done to An. Wow, that's crazy. Hanjin, Loti, Rob, Mira, yeah, Muhammad, Mel. Yeah. So let's have a look. So as I in the beginning of the lesson, in the first 5 minutes, I told you, the way we make money, the way we spot some really powerful stocks, like we spot Nvidia when the earnings were just sideways. They go sideways for a long time. Nvidia gone sideways for a long time until 2023. It doubled. you know. What else? Like Micron was doing that, SanDisk was doing that, Cradle was doing that, Australia was doing that. All of these beautiful that AMD was doing that, and then suddenly they double, and that's where money makes. So that was the same. Dell before that was just going sideways, guys. It was just what one. It wasn't really moving big to a certain point when February 26 life changed. It started to move like 30 30 billion now, and it's still 30 billion. Yeah. I haven't even compared the rest yet. If I compare the margin, it's even more obvious. But I'm just comparing the revenue. So well done. And the reason why we chose this is because we never really seen our salary increase by 30 billion before. Yeah. So well done. So let's see whether you're gonna make money or not if you did that. So that's what happened. You go to Dell and you wait for an extreme fear situation, you see like wow, the guidance increase like never seen before. And 28th of February, when was that? Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I think this is the arrow there. Yeah, 28th of February with just the arrow there. And you'll be like, wow, what's going on? And then you wait for one extreme fear situation, which is you saw on the 18th of March, just there. Yeah, so you're getting very similar. The very similar situation here and there, very similar there. So you go in there and that's it. You scream with profits and just climb like a mountain. You were never able in the entire world. How do we find out? How do we find out? Because like first you go to the guidance vigorously, you pull out the past four earning guidance, past eight earning guidance, you see that it's always that. It's always that. It's always the same. You know, it's always the same, doing nowhere. It's always the same, going nowhere. And yeah, it's always the same, really going nowhere, really going nowhere. And then suddenly it was just the margins started to increase, everything started to increase big time. And things just get easier like that. I can do this 100 times. Okay, for apprentices, we do a lot of times so that you get to really, really see it. People who say the answers, they are all apprentices. They kind of feel it, see it, and they just go to act on it. Yeah, to make big. Yeah, awesome. So well done. At least you understand. And by the way, you will never learn this anywhere else in the entire world. I don't believe anyone is going to teach you this powerful strategy. So well done to you because you now have the strategy to find things you've never seen before. But you will only be able to do that if you treat it like a salary. That means you look at it in the past, it's always dead, it's always the same. But suddenly they decide to double, and lives get a lot easier. Let me show you Samsung for a second. Give me the past eight most recent earning guidance of like Samsung, give me the same metrics, please. Same metrics. So it becomes comparable. Something they give me other things. They give me like margin, they give me EPS, they give me revenue. How can I compare? We just ask him to let us, you know, make our life easier. Let's look at Samsung. We're gonna do the manual ways as well. Go to Samsung Investor. Earnings. MBA, 150,000 pounds it costs. It will never teach you any of that. You will never know how to go to the investor website to find the numbers. Impossible. Yeah. They'll tell you about the history though, but you will never be able to find things like that. Where we PDF. A lot of people, a lot of friends who went to MBA, I studied for Imperial, lots of friends usually go to MBA and they don't know any of that. Yeah, when they come to my training, I charge them a lot of money to come to my training. I charge friends a lot more to come to my training because they already know how powerful things is. Now let's have a look, 100K just like that. They just do it like that. Now let's have a look. Outlook. I don't think so. They give me Outlook. Yeah, there's no numbers, I think. Any numbers? Mm-mm-mm. Let's look at Samsung. We have Samsung just today, which causes the market to crash today. So let's have a look. Are they going to give us some numbers or not? Yeah, telling us about. Let's see. Any numbers? Okay, let's have a look. You can do the same, you know? You do the same. And you tell me, okay, just give me the date. Give me their dates, please, of earning release. Add another column. You look at this and I ask you a simple question. I ask you when do you buy, and you just tell me the date. Let's have a look. Do. All right, that's it. So these are all the beautiful dates. And tell the chat box, when would you have bought Samsung? Yeah, tell in the chat box and tell me, based on these beautiful things that you are seeing right now, when would you buy Samsung? Okay, let's go through one by one. So what do we have? We got obviously it's nice for us to do it, in a proper way where they give us the numbers properly. But let's see. So we've got what is this? It's a bit hard to read. But yeah, let's read together. So 79, 75, 79. You can plot the graph. 74. And then, you usually losing 79, 74, losing, and suddenly it become winning. And yeah, and then 93, 133, 171. And then another one will be what 9.1, 6.5, 6.6. If you want to know whether this AI bubble is popping by just reading this, you got it already. 4.6, and what 11, 8.7, 8.4, 6.2, 14. You can see the margin really double. Margin used to decrease big time. Margin is the most important part. Write it down. Margin is the most important part and it follows by everything else. So you always start with the margin first. So you get margins 11 okay, 8.7 okay, 8.4 okay, 6.2 like lower. Suddenly margin double. That's it. Margin double means your income, your revenue, everything more than double. Okay. Yeah, because your margin double. So so let me see what's your answer. So a lot of people say all of your answers is correct. Okay, all of your answers is correct because we don't have a lot of data. So let me see, at least 78, 74, 74, 73, 85, 92, 132. So all of the answers are very correct anyway. But a very, very clear here is just when the margin double. Okay, so 6.2 margin double to not just double, maybe 3.6 times 3, 18. Yeah, almost 2.5. Yeah, almost 2.5. So 14th of October, that's where you will be buying them. And it continues to go nicer. This is times 7, 8th of January. Now this is double again, 7th of April. Also good if you talk about 7th April. You also make a lot of money because this is actually double again. 20 to 40 is very much double. But you can see it stopped doubling so much anymore. 43 now, 52 only 10. So it gets slower and slower. It comes to the curve of slowing and slowing. Yeah, so hence the market was crashing because it increased, but the salary is not increased before. Your salary used to double, guys. Now your salary increased 10%. So you're not so, happy about that. So if you say the date is anything of any of the dates, you are right. So you say 14 October, you make money. So well done for An who say 14, well done. You can see our apprentices are saying, the really beautiful numbers. Um, what about 8th of July? I would look at margin first and then look at other numbers. Let me try and look at other numbers. 79 to 75, so it will not be 8th of Jan. 79, you could say 8th of April because it increases. Okay. 74, because it go down. So it's, probably not that. And now it increased 14th of October. Yeah, it looks good. What about the one? 9664. Yeah, October also looks good. 4 and then to 12, almost triple. Operating profit guidance, almost triple. So 14th October, let's see whether it's right or wrong. Um, let's go to Samsung. Is it Samsung we're on about? Using our powerful strategy, did you get it right or what? Let's have a look. So this is beautiful Samsung. Okay, so if you talk about the date, which is in 14th of October, where everything doubles most of the time. Where is that? 14th of October, just right here. Yeah, we just 14th October, it's just our most recent extreme fears as well. So yeah, you go in there and yeah, you went up really beautifully since then. 16, what? 16 to 60. Yeah, yeah, five times your money just like that. Yeah, 500%, 600%, just like that. Yeah, you were very, very happy. The rest of it, it was quite choppy. Just before that, it was quite choppy. You could have argued that there's a lot of you could have argued this market, what's that called? What's that? High volume here. Okay, a lot of high volume here. And extreme fear happened on 7th of April, which it did. So getting in there is kind of okay as well. But using our strategy, the right way is kind of there. Yeah. Unless we go back to like 20 years, even 10 years, the more years you gone back, the more you can really see a pattern. Okay. It's just used to be dead, and then things have to go up really beautifully. Yeah. Yeah, if I go to more years. So well done for a lot of you saying whatever numbers, and you're doing really well. Um, Margin increasing is a good news because um margin means out of £100, they get to keep £50. Yeah, rather than going away. Yeah. Same thing with Micron. If I'm gonna do the same for Micron, do the same, do the let me give me the past, let's say 15 most recent earning guidance of Micron. Yeah. So when guidance increase, do we wait for the next extreme fear? Yes, usually we wait for the next extreme fear unless it's really big and it's really huge. You can get in straight away, start dollar cost averaging then as well. Yeah, that's also looks good. In October time, it's just when it released. November we have an extreme fear then. So if you wait till then, it will still be the same price. If you remember, there's another extreme fear, which is just there. So you wait. If you wait now, it comes back exactly the same price as this, and it went up really briefly. If you buy then, you'll be like, oh, I make money. You'll be like, oh, it came back down. Oh, I should have sold it. And you'll be like, oh, and then now it go back up. So you don't have to care about all this small coming back and down. You mentally have to have this hurdle of, just like you already make money on Micron, you'll be like, oh, now market is crashing. You'll be like, oh, I should have sold it. You'll be like, if you don't care about that, if you don't care about you have to sell it, you're gonna have much better future. Yeah, it's just gone up. This 30% crash is nothing compared to 3,000 or 300% you're gonna make big time. Yeah. Would you start taking profit when margin falls? Absolutely. I will run away when the margin fall. When margin fall, the company is gone, it finishes. Let me show you one company when margin falls, guys. Let me show you one company. And you tell me when to run away. Give me the past 12 earning guidance margin of, I don't know, like Duolingo or example. And you tell me when would you run away? Let's have a look. Uh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Mm-mm-mm. So let's have a look on this. Mm. Okay, this is very clear, yeah. Maybe not so clear, but let's try. Yeah, try your best. Let's have a look. When would you run away from this? Let's say you already own them. You'll be like, when would you sell this? Okay, so let's have a look. It's not the easiest to see, um, but let's have a look. Are they giving me everything? Some of the numbers might not be correct, but we're gonna pretend it's correct. Okay, let's do it one more time. Give me the past 10 most recent earning guidance outlook of Duolingo, including its margin. Let's do one more time, all right? Because the numbers are not this is why manually plotting it is really beautiful. What we are doing right now is so powerful because practically you get to spot how to find companies that's gonna go out like the moon, like never seen before. Okay, I'm teaching you how to analyze companies where even you pay 200K for MBA, they wouldn't teach you nothing. Yeah, this is one of the most powerful strategy because if you know how to read this, wow, the world is in your, you have the fingers. The words, the world is your oyster. Let's see. Okay, let's have a look on this a little bit. It's not the clearest, but let's see. Okay, it's not the clearest, but let's see. So, um, sometimes when it's not the clearest, you then you use some other factors. You look at the volume spike and all of that. Okay, but let me show you a little bit. So, first you can see the first margin here is now 21%, and then at 21%, so you be like it's going down a little bit. So yeah, you can, probably let's say you own it at, there's a 21.5%. So this started to do a little bit well here because I don't have a lot more data. But you can see it started to do quite well. So let's see, 24, 25, 27, 27.5. Well, let's continue. 21, let's do one first and then do 24. So we started to do really well here. So in kind of like, November time. And then 24.5, still okay for February time. And it used to be 24.5 to 25.5. Now it's just 25. So in May time, you will be like, okay, what's going on there? And then you have another one which is just right here. This is just 28.5. And then you've got, what else have you got? You got November 29, and then the last straw would just be February here. It's not so clear on this actually because they give many different numbers and Duolingo. Let me have a look. 21, 23, 24, 25, 27, 27. Okay, so treat like your salary, all right? So how do you treat like your salary? So let's see one more time. Full year revenue guidance, 777799111. So they are all increasing, which is very normal because companies they are always showing increasing anyway. Let's say about EBITDA. So 16, 17, 18, 25, 27, 28, 29, 29, 3. So they all kind of show increasing other than this February stuff. What about this Feb 28, 28 actual reported. Okay, I'm gonna do the manual way, guys, so that we can get the right numbers because sometimes the numbers might not be right. 23, 26, 27, 24, 25, 27, 31, 29. Yeah, so the actual numbers actually you can see here is like you want to kind of you definitely want to call it a day kind of here as well because the numbers kind of drop from 31st to 29 there. All right, let's just get some really powerful numbers here. Just give me a minute. We're gonna go to the manual way, guys. We're gonna go to the manual way, okay? Um, well, investor. Let's go to the manual way. Just to get the numbers because sometimes AI is not, it's not giving us the right numbers. Just confirm a little bit. Press release, shareholder. What is this? Q1. Let's get that. Do. Okay, let's get shareholder letter. They give you a shareholder letter and people don't read the letter. It's crazy. Q1 outlook. Yeah, you can see they give you a lot of different things. So let's see outlook. Yeah, that's the guidance. So yeah, that's kind of the numbers where we want. Is it 24? 24 and 25. Did he give you this number? So we didn't really get 24 here. Yeah. So we kind of have to do it manually because they don't really give us the right numbers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it manually right now. All right. I'm gonna show you how to do it because is we normally only show apprentices, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. So what you do, you go to whole shareholder letter, you go to 25 again because it's a bit advanced. Okay, it's a little bit advanced, but it's really helpful. Let's click on that. We're gonna click on all of that basically because you want to compare salary. Obviously, you have to click all of that when you're comparing salary. All right. So let's just do all of that. Let's do all of that. And yeah, so that is where we go. And you go to the bottom here and you get all the numbers. Let's see. Outlook. Yeah, so this is the one in March. So we have 24, we have 25. So it's a good news recently. And let's see all the way to the bottom. So you have bought in the most recent quarter. This is in 27, 28. So we're just gonna put everything together, all right? Because I don't think AI is doing that. Just gonna put everything aligned together so we can compare side by side. Can you see we expect margin to decline 100% basis year over year. So this is where you want to be very careful. You want to call it a day if you own it. This is the date of what day is this? Let's see if I get a date of that. What day is this? Anyway, let's come back. What day is this? This date is Q2 25. When was that? This is Q1. So Q2 25 was just in the date of, I think we have it here. Q2 25, August. Okay, you want to call it the day kind of in August when they tell you that the margin is decreasing. Let me see if it's always like that. So gross margin was approximately 71 and gross margin was 71. What is this? Gross margin 71. Gross margin to decline. You have a look. Okay, there's a lot of numbers here. Q1. Yeah, that's what we saw just now. Q1, gross margin decline. So you want to be running away when it's around, when it starts to say declining, which is the latest one is Q2 25. Q2 25 is here. So where is the decline? So you can't really see a decline if you just read through that. Okay, the AI doesn't really give you the numbers. So you kind of have to do it manually. Yeah, decline. Let me see the one before. Yeah, the gross margin was declining here as well. What day is this? This is Q1. What is Q1? Q1 was on May. Wow, you can also call it the day on Q1. Let's see. So this is Q2, and then this is Q1. Decline like that. Okay, let's see this is decline again on Q4. Let's see. Do. Yeah, so there's no decline on Q4. So in Q1, you want to call it the day on which is 1st of May. You call it the day on Duolingo. So if you own it before, Q1 is when you call it the day. Okay? So you can't really see on here, but you kind of see it like 25.5 change to 25. So 1st of May, you kind of call it the day. All right. Let's go back a little bit more to see if you can see more of anything to do with decline. This is Q3. What is this? Q4. Are we looking at the same date? Let's see. Q4, Q3. Okay, I think we're looking at the same date, hopefully. Which one comes first? This is Q3. And let's look at the margin, which is here. And then let's see this. This is Q2. I think we click the same thing quite many times. Okay, this is okay. Let's start again. So first we got Q4, and then what? Just want to make sure it is on the right order. And then Q3, and then what? And then Q2, and then Q1. And then what is this? Q4 again. Wow, what's going on? Okay, let's do it one more time, guys. I think there's a bit. What did I click? Okay, let's do one more time. Which one comes first? Okay, at the bottom. Okay, let's remove everything. Let's do it all over again. For those who don't get it, I'm going to show you one more time. So you go on, you start with the most recent one first. All right. You go to shareholders, sometimes on the press release, you click all of them. You make all of them happen. Okay. Let's see if all of them happen like that. This is Q4. Look, I literally clicked 2026 Q4 and it gave me Q5. It gave me Q 2025. I clicked 2026, it gave me 2025. So it's a website problem, but that's fine. So let's refresh it. So it's not our fault. It's just a website. I didn't click filter, I think. Okay, it makes sense now. So I have to click filter first. Each website has their own powerful thing. So click on that, and we do it that one more time, and we're just gonna start Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1. It's the same. I think the answer is the same. We did it correctly just now. So press release, you do it one more time. You open as many as possible. Sometimes you even plot the graph and then you can see even more beautiful things and easier. Okay. So Q1, the Q1, the date for Q1 was 4th of May, just a few months ago, and the guidance was not decreasing for the gross margin. Okay, there's no decline. All right. So you buy in May, you make a lot of money. Okay. That is the latest one. All right. Start with the latest one. 4th of May, because the everything increases, so you make a lot of money if you buy 4th of May. Today's July. Um, what else? So and then you go on here and you do the same. Mm, yeah. So even here, this is Q4, and then this is Q1. Okay, and then the one on Q4, you buy that, you also make money because there's no decline. This is Q4, all right? You also make money. So you could also own this since February. Yeah, you also make money because there's no decline. Okay, there's no decline. This is a Q4 2025. This is the second latest one. All right, so we done the latest one. There's no decline. And yeah, what about the one Q3? This is just in like, I think November now. Mm, decided to say decline. So you want to throw this away, throw this stock away from your stock if you own it. Um, that is the date of November. Okay. But let's see if August, should we already thrown it already? Okay. So you do it again. You go to the bottom, you look for the margin. Decline again. So you could have already thrown this even in August because it's a decline. And then let's look at May. Should we throw this as well in May? Okay. Um, where is it? Yeah, it says decline. So you will throw this as well in May. So you wouldn't have owned this beautiful stock. You wouldn't have owned it since May. You wouldn't have owned it. You would have gone down. You can short it, you make a lot of money. 6th of August, you would have gone down. 5th of November, you could have gone down. February, it will go up because the guidance started to do well. 4th of May, it will do up because the guidance started to do well. Yeah. The numbers here is not really accurate. I'm gonna ask them to change the number properly again. Okay. So let's do it one more. Um, this is now Q4 2024. Q4 2024, about February. She would have thrown this as well. She would have bought it there. Let's have a look. Q4 2024. Yeah, let's go all the way to the bottom. We're just looking for guidance now. Mm-mm-mm. Where is it? If you can't find the word, type margin in here. They're going to give you the word. Because we're looking at gross margin, so we type gross margin. See if we give it to us. We are looking for full year guidance. It's supposed to be just on here. Okay, let's read this. We're gonna get it. So, guidance currency assuming remain constant full year growth revenue, constant foreign exchange. So where do we get the guidance for gross margin? Okay, guidance commentary. They give us a very clear guidance commentary before. So guidance commentary in regards. So they didn't talk about guidance decreases or anything, but let's see the numbers. Okay, let's go to the one before. There's no decrease or anything. And then let's go to the one before. They changed their languages recently. All right, that's fine. We can look at it. So it used to be 25, and then let's look at both numbers. We got adjusted margin 25, 24. This is what Q4 2024. Q4 this is in February time. Okay. So that's where that is. And then this is Q1 2025, Q1 2025. This is in May time. Estimate. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's get Q2s as well. This is why drawing is a lot easier compared to like writing it like that. But let's look at Q2. And Q2 was 7th of August then. And you go back there. Usually they will give a very clear, but let's just compare like that now so you can see beautifully right now. So 23 from the beginning, and then it goes to 24. So you're kind of happy there. And then 25.4, and then 27. And yeah, so decline. For gross margin, we expect a year-over-year decline. So decline really started in Q1 25. Let me see where's Q1 25 one more time. Oops. Q1 25. Yeah. Yep. So May, 1st of May, you call it the day on that. Because the gross margin decline. Before that, there's no decline. That's it. Okay. So let's see if you're gonna make money or not. If you do that. Because this is the first time they say they expect decline. It's like your salary is always very beautiful. One day someone knock on your door, your boss knock on your door and say, guys, it's enough now. I'm gonna cut your salary into half. And that's it, you call it a day. You learn trading and investing and you fire your boss, just like a lot of our students. So go to Duolingo. You will hold it till May time. So let's have a look. If you hold it till May time, what's gonna happen? So that's what happened to Duolingo. Before that, you were very happy. You were working for the company, very happy. But when it comes to May, can you see May is the top? Can you see May here? 15th of May at the top of the top. And you call it the day. And things started to come down since because the margin came in coming down. So say well done to you because you see the power of our strategy that you're not learning anywhere else. Okay, you spot for the very first time something happened, and that's it. And life gets easier then. Yeah. So to answer your question of some of the do you take a profit when things like that? Yeah, obviously. Otherwise, things gonna you can see right now it started to go up already initially because our margins started to do well. You can see it's just very initially. So it used to be declining, but and then in February time, they started to do well. Okay, 71. Yeah, gross margin started to do quite well. And it went up 50% since I think from February, which is yeah, and it went up like that from what? From 8 to 13. Yeah, that's 50%. 50% is okay. But because this is no longer 30% growth, it's no longer a high growth stock. So, and AI are killing the company because no one is translating their numbers anymore. People are, yeah, and people are doing that. People are not using AI anymore. All right, beautiful. So that's kind of what happened. If you say August, that's fine. August also went down beautifully there as well. It went up like that. So you have one more chance to sell it just in August time. It went up beautifully, exactly the same price that it was. So you're selling it there, you're also very happy. Yeah, and the volume spike was helping. So whether it's a May, whether it's there, you are both fine. Yep, sometimes it will shoot up, it will spike up a little bit there. So we give you the time to digest and all of that. When you digest properly and things is not as good, so it just went down like that. Yeah. So if you want to own something, just make sure the margin are not decreasing. I can give you so many. I can give you so many examples, and it wouldn't end. It wouldn't end. If I give you another example, PayPal was the same. I give you another example, Nike was the same. If I give you another example, if you look at the moment where you see things going down like the world never seen before because margin started to come down. Okay. So that is kind of what happened. Right now, you saw Micron. Micron margin was 80, 90 right now. So when it's not as high, you can see the bubble is going to pop when the margin is not increasing. The margin are still increasing. It's not as high, but it's still increasing. Yeah. So really powerful stuff. Hardly anyone in the world know about this. You don't know about this. Yeah, no one is going to go into detail like that for you. So write that down. It's really important to go through the past just to look for the margin drop. Yeah. And yeah, and to learn how to do it manually as well. But we're going to do it together if you are. Yeah. And the apprentices. So now what I'm going to do now, I want to tell you what's going to happen. Okay. What's going to happen to stocks. So I want to tell you a little bit what's going to happen to stocks. So as we said, I still even though we are at all-time high, okay, so that means there's not a lot of opportunity left. Okay. So if you make a lot of if you have something going on, usually it's like that. Today red, tomorrow green. Today red, tomorrow green. Look, this is what stock market is like. Today red, tomorrow green. Tomorrow green, the next day red. So it's like alternatively, look, red, green. Sorry, green, red, green, red, green, red. It's always like that. So today is red at your stock. Tomorrow your other stock is going to be green again, the alternate again. It's usually like that. So if you want to buy anything, it's much better to buy during a red day. Yeah. And right now, market are 1%, 2% from all-time high. That's okay. The P ratio of stocks is getting lower though. Stocks is getting cheaper now because earnings is getting higher. And the time, so it does looks like so if you look at our season a little bit, let's go to season. Let me show you season a little bit. What's that? So this is just May, June, July. So June, on Bitcoin, you see a big spike in June for Bitcoin. You saw that before it come back down. It went to 63, very happy, and it come back down. So that's what happened, for Bitcoin. Where is that? It went a little bit of an up, and then the whole thing is gonna be tricky later on. It's gonna come down. It says here. Oops, where is it? Yeah. So a big spike here, July and stuff like that before it came back down. That's for July, August, September. That's for Bitcoin. You don't want to buy Bitcoin in the next 1 month, 2 months. Okay. Yeah, this is why the fear and greed index for Bitcoin is on 27. It might go to 50. If it goes to 50, buy a little bit is good. And the next part is our stocks. Let's look at the stocks. So stocks right now is forming. Yeah, we're kind of going up a little bit just then. And so giving you a last chance to take your profits and a lot of like crazy high growth stocks. If you own a little bit, you continue to own them. Okay, continue to own them. If you own a little bit of them, the guidance is still good. Margin is still good for the guide for the stock. You can continue to own them. Um, and but just to let you know, the next time it's come back, you might come down you know, come down a little bit more before it comes back up big time. So just be really clear what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say here is that if you own some very high growth stocks, you make a lot of money already. When it goes green, okay, you make profits, try to sell your profits. Don't sell anything at the red. You never sell stocks at the red. Rather than you never sell stock when it's at the red because you always make money in stock. So you never sell stocks at the red. and yeah, so when it's green and you can sell a little bit, trim your profits a little bit before we have another really beautiful correction kind of coming in as well. So you might have a chance. Yeah. Let's look at our market screener. Yeah, really important. People often ask, how do you find stock? Market screener. If you don't do market screener, you won't go nowhere. Let's see. Yeah. So what does that mean? That means that, okay, this is the thing. If you think you can mentally withstand 30% job, okay, some people already own your own stuff. Okay, I own stuff already. If you think mentally you can withstand 30% and 10% job and you're not doing a lot, okay, it's very little only, and then you are fine. You don't have to do anything. And yeah, if it goes, continue to write it. But if you can't really withstand 30% job, okay, on your high growth stock that you own, then trimming it a little bit is not the end of the world. Remember, you want kind of you want to stay in the game so that your money always makes money for you. Well, you only trim it when you're profiting, which you should, unless you just so the next part that I want to talk about is market screener. So let's go to market screener. For your ETFs, for your index, you don't have to sell. You remember the first pie? For apprentices, you sell out your first pie. We ask you to buy every week. You don't have to sell them, guys. Those are fine. I'm talking about high growth stocks. Why is my water different color? All right, let's get straight into it right now. A market screener. Okay. Market screener is a beautiful thing. Okay. Apprentice is gonna get it for free. Market screener is not my company. Um, yeah, but if you do trading and investing for 10 years or for 50 years, market screener already costs you 50K. But they come to apprentices, we're gonna give you market screener for free. So coming to apprentices save you money. Even though we are doubling the prices for apprentices very soon for those who haven't doing full. Cool. Let's look at the next part right now. I'm going to market screener right now. We're going to look for any stocks that is to see what's going on. All right. Remember, if you want to buy and sell anything, you must go to the season. All right. Go to the equity clock just to look at whether it's going to go up or down. All right. So that's kind of the important part. But let's have a look here. Do. It's not loading today. Yeah, everything is loading. It's just market screener is not loading today. Is market screener loading on your side, guys? Try. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Is it loading? Is it loading on your site? Some people are like, oh, I can't find market screener. What else can I use? Well, there's many things you can use. You can use AIs as well. Yeah. So some people say it's not loading. Yeah, you're right. Market screener is not loading at the moment. Okay, we're gonna use the AI tool. People ask me how to use AI to find it. I'm gonna show you how to find it. It's a bit tricky. It's not the best, but better than nothing. So you do it. You say, they um give me all the stocks. Give me 30 stocks that reduce their earning guidance recently from now till I don't know the whole June and July. Actually, July to July. Give me the days of release as well. Maybe June is fine. We are working hard to come back. Yeah, it's not looking, but let's have a look. Mm-mm-mm. I want to, so obviously for apprentices, we send you a text just to let you know what to be careful of for kind of your blueprint. Yeah. So just text me a little bit so I can send you the text so you kind of know what to do just in case. But I kind of summarize it today. Cool. Let's have a look on here. Give me the 30s. Okay, let's see. You can use some other ones just to see to give the right answer. Mm, what do we have? Not much. B is the latest one. 7th of July, that's today. Franklin, Concentrix, Vinilbalgo, Carnival. We done Primoris. I think Douglas, we done it a little bit. Sanj, Adobe. All of these actually went up because they are software stocks. Yeah. Not and nothing too big, you know. ABBVIE. This is like, yeah, not many, not many things going on. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you what to buy though, because I'm so good. So, so, um, while market screen is not loading, we're going to tell you what's going on. So, what's going on here? Your homework here. So, okay. So, if you already make some, just for especially for apprentices, you already got some high growth stocks, like increase big time, you know, um, you know, there's a today is going down, but it's going to have a pullback, okay, where it goes back to the same resistance line. Then you can kind of actually trim them, okay, you can trim them so that you are ready for the next one. So you can yeah, you only in July, okay, you only kind of want to do it in July, okay, because because when there's a pullback, July usually is a quite an okay month, especially next week we still got, you can see seasonality wise, it will still come back up a little bit, quite nice there. Yeah. So you trim that a little bit here. So things that is still okay to kind of own and buy, um, is kind of like your, um, let's have a look. Yeah, put 50 quid on your Microsoft. 50 quid on your Microsoft. That looks good. Okay, so that's kind of what happened then. Yeah, while we are waiting for the right time, we're waiting for really, really beautiful. Yeah, doing our trading 212, 50K or Microsoft. What's Microsoft price right now? Let me see. That's okay. You're gonna make money. Uh, yeah, so there. Because the PE ratio of Microsoft is quite low. Yeah, it's quite low at the moment. So that's fine. Not bad. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. Yeah, do it on your ISA account there as well. Okay. So that is kind of what happened. High growth stocks you can trim a little bit. Um let me see. if you buy these, you sell it there, it should be fine as well. Okay. So you can also add around, 20 quid on your IGUS. That looks good as well. Okay. 20 quid on IGUS. That's all good. So you can do, yeah, like 50 quid on the IGUS. So that looks perfect. Okay. We talked about some before. We talk about, utility stocks and they went up really beautifully. Let's see what is the season of utilities saying. Some people shorted that at the profit already. I mean, sell them at the profit already, so that's quite nice. You only want to sell the profit, guys, please. Yeah, so you can see in July it's a bit choppy there. So I wouldn't be buying them, but we already bought at the back. So you already sell it there. That's okay. That's good. That looks nice. What else? Let me think. Mm, what else do we tell our apprentices? Let me have a look if I can find. Mm. We don't want to get into energy because, maybe the hormones and stuff. I don't really want to get into energy. Maybe energy is going to go up, but we don't really want to do that. Energy went up 6% today. It's crazy. Yeah, I think that's good. Um, yeah, just do it, and that should be good. Let me look at service. Service now is also quite cheap, actually. What else? Pound, yeah. Okay, that's a watch list. People often ask me what's the watch list. Now we do watch list at the end of our call now. This is the homework, your weekly watch list. Okay. For the VIP training, you get it for 12 weeks, remember? So we're gonna be giving you that for 12 weeks. Beautiful. Wow, I already given you the pass. Would you agree you make a lot of money? A little bit already from the past. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue to do that very beautifully. All right. Awesome. For apprentices, obviously, we're gonna give some really powerful during extreme field time, so you can get ready there beautifully as well. And obviously, awesome. I think that's it for today. I hope you learned something new, guys. Let's see. Or is it become healthcare? Healthcare is very expensive. You're absolutely right. DR say thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. Do. Awesome. As you say, we are doubling the what already using the price. Do we use intraday? How do we use the highest close calculate? Barry, I love your question. Um, I love your question. When you're using stock price, do we use calculate intra all-time high or do we use highest closing to calculate from? To be very safe, you will use the lowest price, which is the opening price of the but it wouldn't make too big of a difference. Yeah, it wouldn't be too big of a difference. Now, for apprentices, we use some kind of a different calculator. Okay, it's still good to get in. Let me just think. It's still good to get in. Um, but you kind of want to wait for the extreme fears to go to below to reach extreme fears as well. You don't want to get in during like extreme greed stage. You don't want to get in during greed stage. So a lot of things, the calculator is really to save people time, they just want to be a robot. They just do it only. Yeah, to save a lot of people time. They just do it like a robot. But you kind of want to make sure you have. This is why we only do 10% for the first one. If you remember, just do 10% for 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 the first 28% drop or 30% drop, and then you add more later on when you try crash around 50% drop. So you get your skin in the game. So, but to be very precise, is you add it during extreme field time. All right. I'm gonna send you something, Barry. I'm gonna send you a text. I promise you want to send me a text. Um, so I can send you that. So you kind of really get, what to do in a very beautiful way. Awesome. So you're welcome. Mira say thank you. Carlo say thanks. You're welcome. Sean say thanks. Leo say thanks. RJ, you are welcome. I'm asking, can you talk about Fibonacci level? Um, Mel, welcome, Mel. Right. Awesome. So someone asking about, can you talk about Fibonacci level? Yes, let's talk about Fibonacci level. Um, Fibonacci level is a kind of technical analysis. It's a very beautiful level where, for example, a nice price to buy Micron is when we come to Fibonacci level. So you look for the very highest drop. So it's now 50%, all these percentage. So you go on here, you go to extension a little bit from the top to the end, and then you get all the numbers. So usually the most important one is kind of the 50. So you kind of add it when it's 50. So that means you go around 50. From the top to the end, you go around 50. So the 50 would just be around 70, 80. Write it down. Micron below 80 is quite nice as well. Yeah. So that's what happened. But you'll be waiting for a volume spike like this. Can you see a volume spike? So you kind of gain when you see a volume spike. Yeah, that's what happened. You're welcome, Des. We have Harriet here. Um, we got S. We got Harriet. We've got Kim. And who else do we have? Yeah, we're gonna send you guys some text. You can read it really beautifully. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna send you guys text for the apprentices so you kind of know what to do here beautifully as well. Awesome. Well done. Well done. Yep, it should be on your emails as well more. Cool. Speak to you guys very, very, very soon. As you said, we are doubling the apprentices, and send me a text if you want to qualify before we double it. Speak to you soon. Take care now. Kim, we have Anna, we have a lot of people saying hi. You're welcome. Nice to see you guys. Bye bye.